I was actually asked to make a video talking about basically like why you need to break in a motorcycle. Well, I was actually asked in my comments section, and I just didn't feel like typing it out. I figured I'd make a video because A, it's a video idea, and B, I can explain it a lot better. So, that being said, breaking in a motorcycle really isn't all that much different than breaking in a vehicle whenever you build a motor. When you go and buy a new vehicle off the lot, typically, well, I say typically, nowadays, a lot of cars actually don't have their full potential until you hit X amount of miles. Normally it's on like the higher horsepower cars, not your economy cars, but anyway, besides that, so basically you want to break in a motorcycle because it's all a whole bunch of little tiny pieces with very, very, very tight tolerances. So when you have tight tolerances, which are metal on metal, that is hundreds of millimeters apart from each other, sometimes 10,000ths away from each other. It's all about getting that broken in together so that both pieces of metal are basically embedded together in a sense, to where it doesn't just cause that metal on metal to start rubbing and causing friction and overheating things, breaking cylinder walls, and having metal flakes throughout your oil go through all your engine and everything else. Normally, well, I say normally, a lot of motorcycles are a 600-mile break-in period, and then after that you go in, you get your service done, and at that point they basically tell you drive it however you want. Most motorcyclists will tell you that you take it easy on that first 600 miles, and then after that you beat the hell out of it, get the engine used to what you're going to be giving it all the time, maybe even more than what you're going to be giving it all the time, and that's kind of like what a lot of people consider a perfect break-in. I mean, that last part's really up in the air, it's up to you as well, but anyway, I guess it's more opinion-based. I don't know what the true fact behind that would be. That being said, your break-in, basically, you just want to take it easy. You don't really want to go over about 30 to 40% throttle. You don't want to take it to high RPMs. Most bikes you're going to see, they're going to just say keep it below 5,000 RPMs. That's, again, hit or miss. I mean, if you go over a little bit a couple times, it's really not that big of a deal. As long as you're not doing it all the time. And you definitely don't want to go and, like, bounce it off of a rev limiter, because at that point it does matter. Jesus, I'm in every red light on the way to my parents. But anyway, basically it's kind of like letting everything kind of wear in naturally how it's supposed to wear in is basically the long story short of it. You don't want to sit there and take two pieces of metal that are toleranced properly, maybe, but at the same time, they're still new. There could be a small imperfection that you can't see with the naked eye, that when you're spinning at 5, 6, 7,000 RPMs, that's a lot of movement. That's a lot of friction that you're just hoping that there's a small enough gap and a large enough gap in between those two pieces of metal that oil can get in between so that it doesn't just basically fracture and fall apart inside your engine. So, honestly, I think that's the best explanation that I could possibly give you. So the best explanation that I can give you as to breaking in an engine, why it's necessary, what you should do. Every manufacturer has its own break-in procedure that they're going to tell you is what they want you to do. That being said, a lot of riders also have their own explanation of what you should do for a break-in. Take a look at what your manufacturer calls for and go based off of that. In my opinion, everybody else's, all the other riders' opinions don't really freaking matter. It's all about what your manufacturer says, because at the end of the day, if you're breaking in a motorcycle, chances are you have some sort of warranty on it. And I don't know about you, but if I have a 2-year warranty on something, I would like to be able to utilize my warranty for those 2 years. And if you break it in improperly and there's any kind of evidence to show that you did so, you're not going to have a warranty. So, best thing you can do is just follow what your manufacturer says. Whether you think that it's a stupid process that nobody needs to do, or if you truly believe in it, that's up to you. But at the end of the day, the way that I broke this bike in was I would drive it normally, just regular 20, 30, 40% throttle. Every once in a while I might get on it, but these bikes redline at like, I think 12. I wouldn't take it past like 9,000 RPM. It's very few and far between times that you really need to take a bike above that on the street. Unless you're just trying to get some zoomies out or something. And let's be honest, even this 450cc motorcycle is still faster than probably most of the vehicles, if not all of the vehicles you've ever owned. So, take that for what you will. I personally tend to follow break-in procedures. I did on my built motors in my cars as well. I just feel like it's worth doing. So take that for what you will. Do what you will with that information. It is completely up to you how you break in your vehicle or your motorcycle or whatever. I highly recommend just look up what the manufacturer asks you to use and what your manufacturer asks you to do, and just follow it. It's not that big of a deal. Most of them are like 600 miles. You can do 600 miles in a couple of weeks if you really wanted to just get through your break-in period. Just ride it every chance that you possibly can. I know it's getting colder now, but there's still times when you can ride. I'm riding right now and it's 60 degrees. But it's not that bad. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's not hard to just follow the rules. Sometimes it's worth it to just follow the rules and not be a rebel. It's very strange that I don't have the camera on my helmet right now and it's facing me because I'm trying to talk to you guys and maybe teach somebody something. I don't really know, but it's kind of funny because it's like I'm not used to you guys not seeing where I'm looking. I've caught myself a couple of times starting to talk about something and I'm passing and I'm like, oh crap, they probably can't even see that.